What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GameGO podcast, a podcast where we talk about video games and whatever the hell else we want to talk about.
Hey, guys.
I am H8BitHero.
I'm Sonorith.
That's what he is.
That's what I do.
That's what he ams.
I am the do.
He is the do.
I do the news. That's what I do, and that's what we're going to jump into. Hope you guys are having a great week, though. Good day so far. It is March 13th, 2018. Let's jump into the news. First thing on the list is Monster Hunter World. Again, I know you guys are probably getting sick of talking about it, or hearing about it at least.
Who would get tired of this?
Not me. I'm not done talking about it, at least. There's more stuff coming, and they've announced that they're going to have a press conference soon, Capcom. But in the meantime, they announced Dante from Devil May Cry is going to be coming to Monster Hunter World as a costume. And his sword is, too, Rebellion. It's like a big silver sword. It's going to be a charge blade for the game, but I'm not sure if it's going to be its own weapon or if it's going to act as a skin for charge blades that are already in the game. Either way, that you can dress up as the original Dante, not the weird new one they did. So you still have the white hair and the red outfit, and there's going to be a male and female version.
The good Dante.
I didn't really care for either one.
Well, I mean, but, lesser of two evils here.
The other one, then, because that one looked like a douche.
Go away.
No, he
just
looks
hit
dumb.
stop.
He looks dumb with the white hair and the pizza.
Well, the pizza's for both of them. Actually, I think the pizza's more iconic with the second one.
Is it really? Because I know in the third one, he opens eating a pizza, and they attack him, and he's fighting, and he throws a pizza in the air, and he
gets his dong censored by a pizza in the new one.
That... Okay. Pizza's his whole thing, then, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, if you still like Monster Hunter World, and you liked Devil May Cry, this is a good chance to...
And censored pizza dong.
Pizza, yep, and pair the two in one glorious game.
So one thing I'm surprised with these guys, and that they're taking all their franchises, I guess, and gonna start throwing them in here, or they're being very just liberal with the franchises they're using. Konami is very much trying to do the same thing with Bomberman, and it upsets me every time I see another one of those announcements.
That's actually coming to PS4. The Switch
fact
one.
that it's still just happening at all. I don't imagine that it's selling well.
I mean, a lot of people I think wouldn't be as critical of that game as we were. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, even if you at least the Facebook comments, they are not
true.
Very supportive of this system or the game.
Honestly, it's probably the kind of game that a parent would buy for their kids.
Just not knowing, hey, I liked Bomberman.
Well, and the kids wouldn't know any better either, thinking this isn't the same tight, responsive Bomberman from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, unfortunately.
I want to see some kids try it out. I want to see a focus group.
Yeah. But in regards to Monster Hunter, they did the same thing with their older games. They had the Palico could dress up as Chun-Li or Blanca. They had a Mega Man costume back then. They had Amaterasu.
These are actually happening just again then.
The ones that they've announced so far are all new.
No. I mean, I didn't mean to imply that they're using the same ones. I just mean that the feature, they've done it before.
Yes, you remember the Mario ones where you could be the cat as Mario and Luigi?
On the 3DS, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I want to say they did stuff for even the older ones, but I'm not... That I don't know. So I'll just comment on these. I'm happy that they're adding stuff still, and I know that they announced there's a monster named a Devil Joe coming. It's JHO, not JOE, Devil Joe. But I think it's this gigantic T-Rex looking thing with very little arms, but it's huge, and I'm looking forward to fighting it and hopefully killing it.
It's great that they're just continuously supporting it.
Yes. Speaking of games that are being continuously supported, Dragon Ball FighterZ got their first DLC character.
Hey, so when are you going to bring that?
Someday. Broly, the giant beast of a Super Saiyan, has joined the ranks of the fighters with the Z. I saw some of his gameplay. He is massive.
Yeah,
he's scary.
He's twice the size of any of the regular guys.
Height-wise, yes. His muscles are probably 10 times thicker than everyone else's.
Oh, okay.
He is monstrous. And his eyes are all white. I think he's the only character that's like that.
He's thick AF?
Pretty much, with 2 C's.
3 maybe.
Yeah, probably. I need to buy him and play him because he's one of my favorite characters, even if he is silly as far as he's like an OC that somebody would make up. Like, oh, he's overpowered and he's got white eyes and he's just angry all the time.
Right.
Yeah. Up next, Jeff Goldblum's going to be joining Jurassic Park Evolution. He's reprising his role as Ian Malcolm from the first Jurassic Park movie. And Evolution, I think, is from the people that made Roller Coaster Tycoon. Coaster Tycoon. You make your own park, and you have to deal with, like, escaping dinosaurs and stuff. Basically run it as an amusement park.
There was a MS-DOS, is old school Dino Park Tycoon. That game was awesome, but it sucks. I guess, like, the big achievement in that game is, like, you can buy this really expensive fictional dinosaur that's supposed to be, like, singing like a Vegas lounge singer.
Okay.
Called the Vegasaurus. When you buy it from the egg hatchery, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's like a crane that'll come and grab the eggs and then deliver them to you.
Right.
This one breaks on the floor before it makes its way to you.
No.
And I guess that's the achievement, is just like if somebody goes in there and sees that you've broken that egg, that, he earned the greatest amount of money to buy that thing.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so you never actually get to use it. It's just
that
advertised
sucks.
there. It's sitting there. It's like, oh man, I'm so excited. I can't wait for this for my theme park. It cracks on its way out.
Oh man.
And I guess goes extinct because that's the last of its kind.
Wow. Okay. Now hopefully there's nothing like that in this game. But there was I think there was a game called Jurassic Park Operation Genesis or something on PS2 where you had to build your own park. That one was really fun, but I remember I rented it and the disc was like scratched up, so it didn't always work.
Nice. Fun times there.
Yeah, the past.
Good old physical media.
While it worked, it was fun, and I am super excited to try this one just to see if it's similar in tone at all. And it's from the people that made Roller Coaster Tycoon, right? So you could probably make a roller coaster that goes into the T-Rex pen or something, and then they can't give you a bad review because they're dead. Westworld. Speaking of parks, Westworld is they're going to be creating a game coming to iOS and Google Play where you control a training simulation of the park. You're like a new employee for Davos Corp. And that's going to be coming in April. That's next month. But you can pre-register right now at their website, and you'll get some bonuses when you play the game.
I did not get into Westworld as much as I thought I would, like, considering the idea. It's like, oh, hey, it's Red Dead Redemption, the show.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you walk around in a no consequence, do whatever the hell you want, fictional.
Actually, let me explain real quick. So the idea of Westworld is, it's an old movie, it's a newer show on HBO. You go in and you dress up as a cow person, back in the West, and it's basically a game where people will be like, oh, like my son got lost down at the mines, and that becomes a quest that you can go on and like experience the West. Probably none of the bad parts of it, but there are people who wear black hats, and those are the people that are like outlaws, and they can all of the people in the park for you to interact with are robots, but they look and feel human. So
yeah, they're androids.
Yeah, so some people treat them badly, knowing there's no consequences.
Yeah, that's where it's like, wow, this is just completely analogous with an open world game today, and it's a perfect example is Red Dead Redemption, where you can be the outlaw, you can be the hero, although in Westworld I think it gets a lot more graphic with the options that they take because it explores them quite a bit deeper.
It is on HBO, so there's a bunch of nudity.
Then on top of that also is when you don't get to investigate these things when they bug out. You get to see that other side of it. Like, you get to ask the AI, hey, what the hell is going on there?
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool also concept that they get to explore in the show that you wouldn't normally be able to. It's kind of weird. That's one of the few times where linear media can get deeper than the exploratory one.
Yeah. The game, it looks like you're just running the park. It looked kind of like Fallout Shelter, which is... I mean, that was fun for a while, so I am probably going to try this, especially if it's free. I mean, I imagine it would be if you're pre-registering for it. So yeah, just go to Westworld's website, try it, or pre-register, and then you'll get some free stuff when the game comes out next month. Yeah. Black Ops 4 was announced last week on Wednesday, I think, like the day after we record the podcast.
Okay.
It seems like a lot of stuff gets announced Wednesdays or Thursdays, which sucks because then we have to wait a whole week to talk about it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, well, this is one of the worst examples here, is a game like this, and then on top of that, the Direct that we'll be covering in a second.
Yeah. So Black Ops 4 was announced. I forget, there was a basketball player, I think, who had a visor with the logo on it.
Okay.
And so that was kind of a tease. It was just the 4 marks.
Right.
They didn't do like a Roman numeral or anything. So it's just 4 vertical orange marks that look like a chevron, like the mark on a ranking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then the next day, I think they announced that Black Ops 4 is going to be the next Call of Duty, coming out October 12th, which is a month earlier than they normally do. But they're going to be revealing more information on May 17th in a community event. Activision likes to do those. And it looks like zombies are going to be returning for them.
I was going to say, if it's a month before, 2 weeks before Halloween, that's probably why they're moving it.
Yeah, that might be. I mean, they've never done that, so I don't know if they're going to do an event for Halloween.
Which is weird, because it's like you have every other one gets a zombie update, right?
Now I think they're all kind of zombies.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of weird that they never decided to try and push it before October or before Halloween to do something with it.
Yeah. Anyway, my brother's probably going to buy it, and I'll probably end up playing it.
Nice.
So that'll be fun. Fortnite has added teams of 20.
That's pretty big.
It is 5 times bigger than the normal team you can have.
Which is 4
people.
For all of you mathematicians.
Math. The more you know. So yeah, it's 5 teams of 20. I've played a few rounds of this. It gets really crazy. The numbers start dropping fast if you find 2 teams next to each other. Other times, though, it's like there's some people that just kind of wander on their own and get killed. So the numbers start depleting slower. But by the end of the match, it just one team gets wiped out, and you're like, okay, well, I still have all my people, so maybe I'll win. And then you don't, because 2 teams find you. They do a really good job of adding a lot of stuff to this game. Every time I log on, it seems like there's 2 or 3 new items and more plans for stuff. Like, they're going to add jetpacks to the game at some point.
I was listening to GI, and they were talking about this, and I know you're of the opinion that PUBG is the higher quality game.
I definitely prefer PUBG's action. There's some things about Fortnite that I do like, but I really wish that I could take some parts from both games.
Right. Like a nice mix of both would be good. I think the biggest thing is how quick you're in and out of matches. Like, you go... I wasn't sitting there waiting to load in forever, like more than a minute.
Yeah.
And that's pretty damn nice. Like, as soon as I died, I could watch the whole thing through. That's cool.
You can't do that in PUBG.
You cannot?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's just your team, and if you die, I think you can watch from your teammate's perspective. But then once they're out, then like that's it. You just got to go back to the lobby. But yeah.
Yeah. I haven't played PUBG, but I mean, knowing that I'd have to shell out the 30 to try it now, like, I don't know, Fortnite is already installed, and I've only played it so much, but I don't know.
Yeah. Even knowing I think it's worth the $30, even knowing that Fortnite is a free alternative.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, to each their own. I probably will. I just install it on your computer so you can try it at least.
Okay.
That way you don't have to buy it.
Sharing is caring.
Unless it's movies or something. Piracy is illegal, so don't do that.
You wouldn't download a bear, would you?
Not to my house. Division 2 was announced also. Sorry. There was a leak, and then Ubisoft just came out and announced that Division 2 is in plans. It's being made.
How'd the leak go?
What?
What happened
just
with the leak?
The idea that it was being made and worked on and coming out. So then Ubisoft was just like, yeah, it is. So
okay.
Yeah, they're going to release more details at E3 2018, and starting in June, players can earn shields in the first game that you can unlock content in the next game. So that's a good idea. I mean, it is incentive to keep playing the game that will soon be obsolete. So, I mean, hopefully. I mean, I expect Division 2 to be better. And
shields are currency?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not
when
really
you just
sure.
say shields, I'm like a shield? I'm holding up my arm?
I think it's going to be some sort of tokens or like achievements or something. I'm not 100%. But yeah, that was some pretty big announcements but none bigger than the Nintendo Direct. I mean, at least in my opinion. That was some exciting stuff.
Yeah, these directs keep getting better and better and better, and I don't know how that is.
They just riding that gravy train.
It like Switch or Nintendo really is like coming back with a vengeance. Like everything you've said of us, take it back. Like
yeah, all right.
At least that's what I would. I mean, people are always complaining about how it's just a family system. It's a kiddie system or whatever. It's like, you can't say that anymore, man. Like, South Park is on it.
Hold on, let's go into the news
sorry.
first.
Good job.
The Nintendo Direct, I split it up into two sections. One's a lot smaller, so we'll start with that one. The 3DS, they did announce a few games coming to it for some reason. WarioWare Gold, which is it's going to be a lot of the series is they're micro games from the series' history. So it's going to be older games that you've seen, mini games that you've seen in other WarioWare games, which is cool. I mean, if they're taking the best of, and they're all pretty fun, I can imagine it'd be worth the $30 or $40. They also announced Luigi's Mansion coming to 3DS, so it'll be alongside the sequel, and Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story Remastered coming to 3DS, and it's going to come with an additional Bowser Jr. story, or mode, basically. So it's going to be another side story, kind of like Bowser's Minions in Mario & Luigi.
Yeah, this one, I was like, why is the remake the big deal when you're adding a whole new thing to it?
Yeah.
Kind of like with the last remake had, what was it? What was
Bowser's
it called?
Minions.
They're just called Bowser's Minions?
I think so.
Okay, well, I feel like that was advertised just as heavily as the fact that, hey, we're remaking this game and updating the graphics.
I think part of it is it's a remake of an older game, which some people are automatically going to be unhappy about. But then it's also like, but there's some extra stuff too, which I think that's the best way to handle it, because I don't think, as big as it can be, I don't think that's ever going to be bigger than the main game. So it's definitely more of a supplemental thing.
I don't know, like, if we just didn't do Bowser's Inside Story and it just came out with Bowser Jr.'s journey, called it a new game, I think that would be a really big deal. Because people are clamoring for more of that world.
Yeah.
I feel like any of the two standalone would have been effing amazing.
It depends on how big they are, because, again, if they released it in stores and made a big deal of it, it would be a $30 to $40 game. Otherwise, if it is going to be a smaller deal, then just put it on the eShop for $10 and it kind of
agree.
Falls to the wayside.
I agree entirely. The thing is, that's what the big deal about that game was, is that it was a full-length second feature on the same disc.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
all right,
I'm assuming the same with this one. So I don't get, like, just release, like if anything, those main games should be what you're saying, value re-releases. And the new thing should just be new games.
Well, and the thing, too, is that I know Bowser's Minions side story, that had stuff that contributed to your playthrough in the main Mario & Luigi game.
Okay.
Which, I mean, you don't have to include that, but I think part of that game's loop is that you are earning stuff for the main story.
That's an interesting caveat. I don't think that's the word I want to use, but I'm going to, so screw you. And yeah, no, that's an interesting little twist or detail to it. Moreover, why are all of these coming out on 3DS and not Switch also?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment. First, though, there are a lot of things coming to the Switch. That was definitely the highlight, the focus of the Direct. They just have to keep releasing stuff on 3DS for some reason. First of all, Okami HD is coming to the Switch. There's no word on if they're going to have any extra bonuses compared to the other Okami HDs on, I think, PS4 and Xbox One. Sushi Striker Way of the Sushido, that's a game that was coming to 3DS. It's now also coming to the Switch. People seem excited about it. I am on the fence.
That game looks like it's going to be fun as hell.
All right, well then there's another person for it. Octopath Traveler, the RPG from Square Enix, is coming July 13th. And originally Octopath Traveler was a working title, but it turns out that is just going to be the name of the
now?
game. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you take 8 characters and play as them. I'm not sure.
Yeah, one of the big deals from the trailers is their path ability, which is just the field action. And it's kind of like, you're just splitting any one character from any other RPG into 8 when you're on the field, but...
It becomes part of the character. There's one that's a dancer who's trying to escape from her owner, and
right,
she can like charm people, and that makes sense for her. There's a warrior who can challenge people to duels, I think,
but then there's a guy who's like, "Hey, we can converse." Like that's his
I'm not
thing.
sure about.
It's like how would you charm somebody? Obviously, conversation has to take place.
She's a dancer, an exotic dancer.
So she's just completely silent.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks cool. The game looks really nice.
It does look awesome. The big deal is that its aesthetic is a 3D diorama kind of pixel art thing. So the sprites look like they're maybe PS1 era because they're higher than Super Nintendo.
Yeah, but they are sprites.
Yeah, but everything is 2D sprites in a 3D environment. So it's not exactly 2.5 where you're moving on a 2D plane and everything's in 3D. These are sprites moving around in a 3D area. It looks really nice, and the stuff they do with the camera filters while you're walking around look effing beautiful. I played the demo and it made me not want to play it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard everybody else wanting to play it more.
Everything about it makes me want to play it except for when I actually played the demo. I think I'll give it a second chance, but when I first tried the demo, I was not too wowed.
Oh, all right. Well, that's unfortunate. Dark Souls is going to be getting a Solaire amiibo. He's the guy with the praise
what?
the sun. Yeah, and
That's
we're not
cool.
sure if there's any content or like what's coming with it if you put it on the Switch. But yeah, that's going to be a cool thing to own.
That's pretty crazy.
My friend doesn't have a Switch and he wants to get this amiibo.
Yeah.
He's a huge Dark Souls fan.
Okay.
Yeah. Mario Tennis Aces coming in June. They finally nailed down a release date, month for that. Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker is coming to 3DS and Switch.
Oh, and 3DS?
That's what I'd read, yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and it's going to have some extra levels from Super Mario Odyssey.
Right.
I saw one that was New Donk City.
Oh, man. I really hate that, like, as soon as I saw the level... So I see this thing coming up, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I kind of half expected this. I'm still going to be upset because it's going to be full price, I think.
Probably.
But then I was like, okay, whatever, I can skip it. Then I saw the freaking Odyssey, the New Dunk City, and I'm like,
you can't skip it.
I can't want it. I must not want to. And it's like, I freaking do. I might be willing to go and get that game again.
Yeah. I didn't play enough of the last one or the first release to get my fill, so I'm probably gonna end up just buying it and being happy with my purchase.
100%ed it.
Okay. Well, you actually have it on your channel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that on H8BitHero.
Preferably don't. That one's a very not safe for work drunken playthrough.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Cancel. Undertale's coming to the Switch, which I know that...
Freaking...
When I saw that game, my immediate thought, like when the Switch started coming out, was like, this is perfect. It's not graphically intensive. You could take it on the go, and there was no news of it coming to the Switch. But now they've announced that it is. They also have a new Game Maker export Switch option. So they kind of partnered with the Switch to make things easier for people making games in Game Maker.
What?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I totally forgot to put that on here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool and exciting, not just for Undertale, but for people making games in Game Maker. South Park: The Fractured Butthole is coming to the Switch April 24th. You mentioned this at the beginning of your rant.
Yeah, the stuff that they're, like I said, people think it's a kiddie system, but it's not. It never really has been.
I don't think that was a perception here. I think that was Nintendo's perception, or I mean, people's perception of Nintendo. And I think people were maybe expecting the same, but now that this stuff, Dark Souls, South Park, Undertale is a child-looking game, but it has very
dark
themes.
undertones to it. There's there are very heavy themes in it.
Yeah, Captain Toad, he's trying to take all the money. That's capitalism.
Things children shouldn't know about.
Exactly. Little Nightmares is coming to the Switch. That's another
one of
scary
these
title.
kind of titles.
It's got all the DLC from the original release, and you can get a Pac-Man mask if you have his amiibo.
Paku.
Yeah, I don't really know how that's gonna look, but I want to see it.
Yeah, I saw the picture of it in it, or I mean, the trailer of it. It includes it. It shows it. It looks kind of cool. It is. It's like not a friendly looking version of Pac-Man either. It looks like a kind of a.
Is it like the Street Fighter Cross Tekken Mega Man?
No, not in that way creepy. It's more like
like he looks empty and soulless.
Exactly.
Okay.
Just Tim Burton-esque.
Oh, okay. That whole game kind of has that vibe to it anyway. Simbat, she's done our animations and art for us. She was a big fan of the game, just hearing about it, and now that this is coming to Switch, she wants to play it.
Cool.
So I'll play it with her. That's going to be fun.
Awesome.
Speaking of PS4 games coming to Switch, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy.
I was very, very excited and surprised about this game.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I have a feeling that games are just gonna start trying to make their way onto the Switch,
even if
no
they
matter
have
what.
no business being on it.
I feel like with the Switch, we're still gonna be. I missed out on the Xbox, the PS4 Pro, and the beginning of the Xbox One
X,
the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be missing out on a lot of that stuff. I think the Switch is gonna make up for it. I think it's going to pull a lot of those games that didn't get a lot of sales on those consoles alone.
Well, apparently Crash sold very well, so I mean, I think it's just definitely a matter of I will say though, Crash is coming to PC and Xbox One the same day. Didn't get a release date actually, but it's going to be releasing to everything. So they're trying to spread their market share, I guess.
Right.
But now people are saying he's going to be in Smash Brothers, which I'll get to in a minute. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition coming to the Switch. It's going to have all the DLC from the Wii U and the 3DS version, which for the Wii U version alone, there was a ton, and I know they added new characters to the 3DS version.
This is because the 3DS version was a different game, was it not?
I think it was largely similar. It had its own additional characters and some other stuff, but
basically it's compiling everything
exactly
Hyrule Warriors related and putting it onto one disc or one cartridge.
Yes. I played a bunch of the last version on Wii U, and it depends on how much they add to this one. I might end up picking this up, but God, there was so much to do. Even when past the story, there was the map of the original Zelda. I think I talked about this on an older episode of the podcast. There's a map of the original Zelda game where each tile is a challenge map in Hyrule Warriors, and you had to use like secret items like you would in the original Zelda between maps to progress. It was really cool.
I wanted to get into that mode, but it's like I have so many other games to play, and this could be its own title. This mode. It's
very substantial. They added more maps they did a Majora's Mask one. They had one for some other game, and I don't remember it right now. Either way, this is huge. A lot of content in this one game.
Huge,
yeah. Kirby Star Allies is coming March 16th. That's actually this Friday. Nintendo announced in the Direct that there would be more co-op characters added from Kirby's Dream Land 1, 2, and 3.
Nice.
You can already recruit allies in the game, and you can earn more as you're playing through the story, but this is going to be even more people, so you can have 4-player fun with all of the older Kirby characters. That's pretty cool.
Really looking forward to seeing the different combinations. I'm hoping they don't disappoint. Crystal Shards was one of the first Kirby games I think I remember that let you take 2 powers and combine them to actually make a new power.
I loved that game.
Yeah, beforehand it was if you took in 2, it would just do the mix and you'd get a roulette.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. If I actually I wasn't very impressed with Crystal Shards.
I love that game.
I felt that with all the combinations, even there still ended up being less. And while some of them looked cool, I don't know. There was something I didn't like about that game. I found disappointing. I'm hoping this game just gets a better feel for I think what I liked from the Super Nintendo ones.
Yeah.
It looks like the animation's faster. and a little bit more robust considering how many more generations it's had on Crystal Shards.
Yeah.
Because that's 64. But yeah.
All
I'm just
right.
hoping I don't get disappointed with the combos.
Yeah. It looks cool so far. I would have to see some gameplay before I actually buy it, because I don't think I've ever bought a Kirby game.
Really?
He's fun for a while for me. I don't see myself like playing through an entire game. Although this is co-op, so maybe.
I was saying on the stream that I want to get this and I'm going to enjoy it the whole time, but it's not going to be difficult at all. I know that I'm gonna.
Yeah.
It's just this is gonna be a nice ride,
Yes.
essentially.
All right. ARMS has announced an online tournament. It's actually ongoing right now. So if you play ranked between March 8th, which is 5 days ago, and March 18th.
Geez, so it's too late for me to get in on this.
Well, you could still try. Ranked playing between March 8th and 18th. The top players by the end of that time will participate in a final tournament on March 31st. So if you've been playing or you haven't or you forgot about that game, now's the time to jump into it and play as much as you can.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because this is probably going to be the last boost in player count. They already announced they're going to stop supporting ARMS, or that they're basically no more new DLC after this. They're done.
Well, I mean, they said that after the last character came out, Dr. Coyle.
Okay, well,
So it's not news, but they did also say there's going to be another test punch thing. So if you don't have the game yet, you can try it for free for a weekend. Mm-hmm. Maybe that'll convince you to buy it.
I guess if they do more of those, that's like when I'm doing Left 4 Dead and a sale goes up on Steam. It's like, okay, cool, let's go win.
Oh, man. Yeah, a lot of new people are going to be trying it. ARMS is a fun game. I don't know what they can do to really like add longevity to that, because it's a fighting game and those communities either require support or the fan base or they die.
Yeah.
And I've not seen a ton for
That
ARMS,
game-
but it's a cool idea.
I love the game. Playing it was great. I don't know what could be done better with it. I jumped onto Splatoon, and then that ended up taking up like my multiplayer as far as Switch.
Cravings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still want to play ARMS, but also I think in ARMS I'm a lot more afraid of the losses. I feel a lot dumber when I lose in ARMS. I get angry about ARMS losses.
In Splatoon, it's 4 people versus 4, and you can always just kind of blame your teammates if you lose.
That might be it. You're absolutely accountable when it comes to ARMS, and it sucks because you only find out how great your opponent is like after playing them. It kind of sucks when within 10 seconds you know how the next 2 matches are gonna go.
Yeah, unless you can learn their patterns or their tells.
Which is which is always the thing. But yeah, I don't know. It hurts.
Yeah.
And I guess it's supposed to.
Yeah, it is. Well, you mentioned Splatoon, which, I mean, maybe you're excited for this. It's going to receive its first paid DLC ever.
Yeah, paid.
I mean, honestly, for what they're adding to it, I don't mind. You're playing as Agent 8, trying
It's
to
not
recover
the part I'm excited about, but yes.
in 80 test facilities, which I imagine are going to be like Metal Gear Solid VR chambers where you do just smaller levels. If you complete all 80, you get to play as an Octoling in the multiplayer, which
I
is
didn't
what
know you had to beat the campaign
I'm
to
excited
do
for.
it.
They are also going to add some Octoling items in the store, so I think there's going to be some compromise there where you don't necessarily have to beat it. Mm-hmm. Either way, this is something I've wanted since this game was announced, and it's cool that they're finally going to add it. And hopefully, if they do a Splatoon 3, there's going to be even more characters of whatever variety, like other species.
Yeah, it was weird to see them use the Octolings in the single-player campaign. It comes in the game and it's like, okay, so there is AI and there are models and animations for them. What the hell? Why can't we play as them? And I guess this is what they were waiting for. I'm assuming they were, okay, let's wait until the game possibly dies out, if that's even a thing that might happen. And then we'll unleash the Octolings.
Yeah, and they just started selling that Splatoon with the strategy guide and the sticker set thing. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of right off that.
I didn't realize there was a strategy guide.
Yeah. And if you don't want to pay for it, there is a free update. It's going to be adding 100 new items, or at least 100. 3 new stages, and it will add rank X when you're playing in ranked mode, so now you can go further than S, in case you weren't killing people enough.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm at A best on anything. I'm not an S or X on any of the games.
Oh, well, how much have you been playing lately?
Shut up.
All right. So yeah, if I didn't already I'm tempted to buy it again because of this, the Octoling
Right,
thing.
you sold it?
Yeah,
I
I
hate
needed
you.
other games. I can't just talk about Splatoon all day. But yeah, that's almost all the news. The last announcement is that Super Smash Brothers is coming to the Switch this year.
Oh my god. And the biggest surprise, I think, is the fact that it's not a port.
Yeah,
It is not the Wii U game. It is going to be a new Smash Brothers game.
Yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I think 8 came out the same year as I think Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U, and it's only a year difference, and they're making a new game.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. Inklings are the new character in the game, or one of the new characters, and
That was a really cool way to announce them. That
So-
cutscene and everything.
the Splatoon announcement ended. The next thing was just a white screen, and you see paint being added to it, and then there's 2 Splatoon characters fighting, and then the room fades out. The female Inkling turns to see the giant flaming logo for Super Smash Brothers.
The way her eye is twitching and the
Yeah.
trying to stare it straight in its face and
Yeah, it's,
just having that big orb glowing in the sky is freaking awesome.
I'm very excited. The Wii U version was great, but there weren't enough people playing on the Wii U to make it worthwhile, unfortunately. So now that the Switch is the hot ticket console for Nintendo, I'm hoping that this game really performs well and makes the online worth buying. And it has I'll probably end up playing this a lot more than I played the last one, for sure. Yeah, and I cannot wait to see what characters they're adding, or third-party characters even.
Man, I'm really excited that they're deciding to make a new game.
Yeah,
I take my money already.
yeah, I can't wait. So we have a question from Fizzled. He's one of our listeners and viewers of streams and such. He asked if there were any highlights for the stream, and obviously Smash Brothers and Splatoon take my top 2. I think Undertale is up there too. What about you?
It's so the thing I got excited about the most is basically a tie between both Splatoon and Smash Bros. It's the entire trailer of Agent 8 was freaking awesome. And then seeing the Smash Bros announcements, not just the way they did it and everything, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Those 2 were definitely my biggest, most exciting thing. Along with the fact, I guess the takeaway is just Nintendo's just being more open and just isn't being restrictive on their titles, what they're letting on their system, and announcing themselves.
Yeah, that's actually a big deal too.
It's not just the big deal that South Park is getting on the system. The bigger thing to me is that Nintendo in their Nintendo Direct put South Park in there.
Yeah.
That friendly voice that was telling you all the other guys, he's the same guy that said fractured butthole.
Yeah. I cannot wait to see what the Switch is going to be doing for the next few years, because if this is any indication, then obviously they've done well their first year, and it's going to keep just going up, I think, for now.
Do you think Nintendo should stop supporting 3DS?
Yeah, that was the second part of Fizzled's question.
I feel, that if not, stop supporting it, then everything that comes out on it should come out on the Switch, because these 3 games are games that are not going to be played by a lot of people who traded in their 3DS for a Switch, who sold their 3DS for Switch games, who thought, okay, I guess Switch is the next thing. Let's do this. Not necessarily that, but it's not a dead system, but it's not your main anymore. And Switch taking over the portable thing, what's the point? What's the point of not releasing it also on Switch?
I think part of the problem is that as they were saying that the Switch was coming out and they showed off that you can take it anywhere, they said it's not just a portable thing, it is a home console and a portable thing. And so there's no home console that is exclusively a home console, but there's still a portable. It's still the 3DS. And that's just another thing that you have to take with you when you're going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I do not, like, the Switch is already big enough. It doesn't fit in the pocket, so I have to get a carrying case for it. I don't want another thing to have to bring with me.
Yeah, there was a point where I was like, what the hell, Nintendo? Stop making portables and just make really great games on an iOS or an Android. Just give me that so I don't have to carry 2 weird peripherals with me.
Yeah.
And then, like, this happened. And now it's like, I'm not going to carry my phone, my Switch, and the 3DS with me everywhere I go, bro.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have their phones. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. So it's just, you're running out of pockets. And then the charging.
Too much technology.
Pretty much. I really wish they would just solidify, like you said, release things on both or just kill the 3DS entirely. I would play Luigi's Mansion on the Switch. I'm not going to get a 3DS to play it.
Right. Right. None of these are system sellers at the end of, what's looks like is going to be the end of the 3DS sometime this year.
Well, and the thing too is Ultra Sun and Moon were the last Pokemon games on 3DS and handhelds in general. So that's kind of the sun setting on this 3DS.
Yeah.
Appropriately enough. I don't know. I think Nintendo needs to stop and just focus on the Switch. It's the best of both worlds. The only exception I can see is that if you're making some meaningful addition to the game using the second screen, which I don't know what that's going to be. If Luigi's Mansion, Bowser's Inside Story was already on DS, right? So I can understand that at least.
But then even then, this is a touch screen. You can cut the resolution in half, hold the thing sideways. There you go.
Yeah. And then on top of that, like, I think I played Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. Uh-huh. There was one instance of touchscreen functionality in the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed more weird that one was than the fact that the rest of the game wasn't.
Press here to start game.
No, it was like probably 90% of the way through the story, you wipe something down. And it ends up...
the map?
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That's so dumb. And
it was the only time in the whole game that you're just is somebody they had to get a guy to write this code.
Yeah. So is this gonna be for the menus and the battles and stuff? It's like, no, just this one thing. Took me 4 weeks, but all right. So I don't get it. WarioWare, a lot of the stuff has been on single screen consoles anyway.
Yeah.
So
But to be fair with WarioWare, any new gimmick that you throw as far as controls, those guys know how to make it work. So
that's true.
As much as I don't want WarioWare Gold on just the 3DS, I also am probably going to get it because that's going to be fun.
Well, I mean, Luigi's Mansion and Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story would be fun anyway.
That's not a very good argument that I just presented, is it?
Yeah.
I played both of those are remakes.
Yes.
WarioWare is nothing but remakes.
Just stop trying to argue for WarioWare.
WarioWare is the only game I'll buy there.
All right. Anyway, fizzled. Yeah, I think the Nintendo needs to stop supporting the 3DS. If third parties want to keep going, go for it. But I think Nintendo needs to move on, and so should everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Hot take, I think. I don't know. Anyway, so that's the news for the week. That's some pretty big announcements, and I cannot wait to play all those games. But I did play a couple games this week. What did you play?
I've been playing a couple of things, and good times. I really hate myself for waiting as long as I have to try WayForward's Shantae's half Genie Hero. I was a little bit confused with what order the games came out in, and I kind of even was thinking that this was a remake of one of the older games.
I thought so too.
Okay, so we're gonna double check that because I've played 3 Shantae games, and this is neither of those games.
All right, one sec. Okay, so it turns out this is a completely original game. It is the last one of the 4 that have been made.
Yeah, and like I said, I have played 3, and now I know which one I have to go to after playing this one to complete the quadrilogy.
Out of order.
So?
All right, just making sure. It is the last game in the series. That's a weird title, though. That sounds like a remake of the first one or something.
Yeah, half Genie Hero.
Yeah, like
considering it's just we've always known she's a half Genie Hero. Why does this one get that title now?
Yeah, I don't know, it's weird. Anyway, so how is it?
Oh man, just
that
always
bad, huh?
it's just a cluster of it's always done a good job of like trying to be very Mega Man-ish, where it's high paced action.
Yeah.
While kind of putting this really cool stylized hub world that is just her walking around her like main her own little towns of Scuttletown. Yeah, I think it's called Scuttletown. It's great. It like any other really good action platforming game, this plays very much like any of those. But then it also has some Metroid and some Castlevania to it, where some parts of the levels can't be accessed without certain upgrades. It has no map. It's not. The level layouts are a lot closer to Mega Man than they would be Metroid or Castlevania, where it's a massive map that is hiding tons of secrets. Don't be fooled. You should be scouring every area in every one of these levels, especially every time that you get a new ability. Go back, because there are certainly things that you can go and find in the past levels that you've been in that you're going to need now with the new abilities. It's crazy because you don't need a map. You don't need to be really checking a map screen and making sure every square is checked off and looked at.
Yeah.
It's not that deep, but it's like there's one level that I was doing that has a bunch of the squares coming in and out from the foreground into the background, or coming into the foreground from the background, that guide you over bottomless pits.
Yeah.
And it's like this couldn't be more Mega Man than it is right now. It is emulating those old magic block or those block puzzles that would just appear out of nowhere. So you
in a pattern
over the big ass thing of spikes for the insta death. It's emulating a lot of that stuff. Where it doesn't, it uses the transformations, and it makes you start doing them faster and faster as the levels keep going, and you start getting more comfortable with it.
Okay.
It's really cool. Like, just it's such a crazy take on action platforming to put this like really cute, adorable Genie Hero there, and it works really well. The art is effing amazing. I don't know what caused the shift in art direction, because there's a heavy one in between 3 and 4. Between this one and the last game that came out, they look similar, but you can see some definite intentional changes. But damn it, like, everything looks bright as hell, very vibrant. Every character looks very well animated, whether they're just the citizens of Scuttletown just sitting there waiting for you to talk to them, or if it's anybody. Like, there's a level called Mermaid Falls where they're taking a bunch of girls, turning them into mermaids, canning them, and
Whoa.
it's counterfeit sea monster food.
That's messed up.
But the animations of the girls, like they're hanging from like some wrist bindings, and as they're on a conveyor belt thing, as they're passing over this like this open water, these trouts come up, and then
oh no,
they don't eat them.
Yeah,
but they put their mouths, they have them all the way up to their hips, so it looks like they have a mermaid bottom.
That's horrible. Still, I wouldn't want my legs to be inside a fish's mouth.
Yeah, it's great because the chicks are just hanging there like, what the hell is going on? Then that happens, and their eyes get a little wider, and they're like, what the hell? And they're just mermaids now as they keep going down the conveyor belt. It's funny. It's got a nice sense of humor to it. Literally every art asset in this game looks amazing. when you're going to the fast travel screen, which has you right on the back of a giant bird with Sky, I think is her name.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Oh my God! Just there's probably like a 20 to 30-second loop of the two characters on the back of the bird just looking down on the horizon and just being amazed with it. Like, hey, what's over there? Oh my God, did you see that? Like, you can see the excitement. You can fill in the lines in your head just by seeing their expressions. The game is beautiful, man. It looks beautiful. It sounds effing amazing. And then it plays very smooth. It gets a very, very solid, like, 9 out of 10 from me. And it's hard for me to come up with a reason why not to give it the 10. I haven't beaten it yet, but it's like I'm 4 hours into it now, 4.5 maybe, and I can't see any reasons why that game wouldn't would disappoint me now.
Yeah,
like
cool.
It's definitely if you like good action platformers, or if you've been a fan of Shantae at all, there's no reason to miss this game. Like, Shantae has never, as far from the games that I've played, down, like I said, I'm only missing one of the quadrilogy. They all play very consistently similar, where it's an action game. You go from one side of the map to the other, trying to clear it and do whatever side missions you might end up getting. It's awesome. It's just a great mix of a lot of different gaming elements, and it does them all very well.
Cool. So it's on...
I'm playing it. IAM's Play-Ons. I'm playing it on the Wii U. I believe it's on the PC. A port is coming to Switch for it. I'm pretty sure it's on PS3 for Xbox and
3DS, maybe?
I'm not sure about 3DS, actually.
Well, then forget me, right? The one guess. Did you want to talk about yours, or should I go?
Then let's take turns.
All right. So I was going to talk about 2 games, but I don't want to go too far over, so I'm just going to talk about one, and it's Sea of Thieves, that pirate game that we saw at E3 and that you've seen. Probably there's open betas for it. For whatever reason, I never keep in mind the fact that most of Xbox's decent games are also on PC, like Cuphead.
Yeah.
But my friend, we're playing PUBG, and my friend shows up on Saturday. He comes into the Discord channel we have and tells us all to download it. He's like, it's free. It's the final beta. Like, we can play today and tomorrow. And if you guys like it, we can get the Game Pass when it comes out to play it for a month or whatever. So we're all kind of like, all right, I guess. And I'm kind of worried if my computer can even handle it, but it's like I can run Overwatch ultra high 60 frames. Well, not 60, maybe 30 frames per second. So we're downloading it and eventually jump into it. There's some troubles at first because it is a beta, but we finally get into the game, and like the first thing you notice is the water is amazing. You start off on an island, and my friend tells us to get on the boat. He kind of tells us what we're supposed to be doing, and as soon as we get into this, once we learn like how to use all the items, the first thing we do is we start drinking grog out of the. We just get my cup and just start chugging it.
So it's like, yeah, here's a bunch of tools. Here's some booze. There's food over there. Where's the booze?
Drinking. So yeah, my friend and I started drinking and like throwing up on each other in the game. It was pretty gross, but it was fun. Playing instruments, like playing Shantae songs. Yeah, this game is just so. There's been some concerns about a lack of content, but like it seems like a kind of game where you just hang out with your friends, and if you make the fun yourself, there are plenty of goals for you. Like for us, we were looking for treasure, and it was just so much fun sailing from island to island. I guess I have a good head about me, like geographically, because you can look on the map, and then you see you're on the island, and it's like, okay, well that rock's over there. There's some green here, and I need to dig here. So I just dig my shovel into the ground. You hear that thunk? You found a treasure chest, and then your friends can help you like dig it out or fight skeletons off as you're trying to get it. It is.
Fight skeletons.
They're like enchanted skeletons that are protecting treasure. It's like cursed or something.
Okay.
We go swimming to the boat. Like the water is the best water I think I've seen in a game. But yeah, there's like sharks in the water sometimes. You can shoot them, thank God. Cause
what comprises the enemies in this game? What is your opposition?
Cursed skeletons.
Uh-huh.
Sharks. Other players.
Okay.
Because at any moment, another player can attack you, sink your ship, take whatever you have as far as treasure chests.
Are there particular lobbies, or is it one whole shared open world? Or?
No, I think it's like 6 crews in a game.
Uh-huh.
I think 6 ships is the max. And I know people were worried that that's not enough. So, I mean, if that turns out to be what do you call it? If it's a good complaint, I guess. I don't know what I was trying to go for.
A valid complaint?
Yeah, if it's a valid point, I think they will add the ability for more people to play together. But that is
I'm
still...
sure they just change a fucking number and there you go. Now we got 10.
Maybe, because you are networking like 24 players together.
Oh, that's the issue.
So,
Updating they're on a boat. That's hard.
So the boat stuff is, it's just a lot of fun. Like, changing the sails, being the captain, being up in the crow's nest, saying like, yeah, there's a ship coming at us, and then everyone just gets into like combat ready like positions, dropping the anchor so you can make a sharp left turn, and then fire on somebody. The whole game is cool. I cannot wait. I think it comes out the 20th, according to my release chart here. Yeah, man, it's $10 on the Game Pass. I mean, well, the Game Pass is $10. It's going to be on there for at least the first month. I think I saw some rumblings about they might take it off after that month just to kind of let people try it. Either way, that's $10 for a month of this game where we're just going to be on it nonstop and like just being dumb pirates. It's cool because like all the characters are pretty ugly that you can pick. So they're randomly generated. Like you get 8 pirates at a time, but they're all kind of just, they're pirates. They're not handsome people. But then afterwards, you can go to shops and buy you could get hair, facial hair, a whole new outfit for them. You can get gold encrusted everything, like all the tools you have. You can get gold versions of it, or
nice.
There's a couple different options, and you can earn more as you're catering to certain factions. And then there are 3 factions, so you're not just going to be going looking for treasure. One of them has you delivering certain things, and then I think the third one has you hunting down pirates, which I think is going to be an NPC enemy. So, I mean, I cannot wait for this for a full release because I played it for like 6 hours that one day. Mm-hmm. It's so fun.
Damn.
Yeah, it is. With your friends, this is like, I can't overemphasize how much fun it is to mess around with your friends in this game. So, if you have $10 and a PC or an Xbox, get Game Pass and try it because it's good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Xenoblade 2 is another game I just started. I'm only 3 hours into it, and I'm liking it more than Xenoblade 1 already. You didn't like it very much. You weren't a fan of Xenoblade.
I played the first one on 3DS, and I did not understand why it was so popular.
The only thing I really, really don't get is the voice actor direction.
I think that was because there was a voice actor strike, wasn't there?
I don't know, but they definitely continued. They definitely just kept them all British or European or whatever accents they have.
I see. Yeah, no, yeah.
I can imagine that would make sense for the first game because that is about the same time where the
they had a recent one
strike
too.
happened over here. I didn't know we had another.
Yeah. So, I mean, that might be, again, why.
I guess. How were the voices in X, do you know?
I did not play X. So
I don't even... What do the main characters in X look like?
I think it would look more futuristic than the first one.
Right. But I don't even remember... Like, I can't remember their faces or anything. Like, I remember Shulk and most of the characters not by name.
I remember the city named Neo Los Angeles or something.
Mm-hmm.
Which is doubly weird, but I don't know much about X. Like, after the first one, after I tried it, I didn't know anything about the series until I played the 3DS one, and then I just knew that I had no interest in it. I don't get it.
That's not a thing I want to play.
Yeah, I don't know. And then seeing the like reviews and stuff for this one, like some of them are okay, others are saying like this game is bizarre as hell. They took the weird. Like the little furry guy that makes a weird maid. Or something.
The general, they're very free with the female body in this one, and how proportion they make everybody.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird mix of really high quality stuff Like, the models look amazing.
Yeah.
The cinematics, like the cinematics and cutscenes, are all really high quality. They're very well animated and directed. Then there's other moments where you might like they actually are focused on the girl, the blade. I forgot what her name is, Pyra, and she's having a conversation with Gramps, their Titan.
Yeah.
And she moves her head, her body's facing out towards like some body of water, and she's just out there being reflective.
Mm-hmm.
She goes from looking at the body of water, and like the head does like a strictly 90-degree x-axis turn.
Okay.
To face him, and then it goes like, about 10 degrees down on the y-axis relative to its neck. But it's like so precise and exact.
Yeah, it looks unnatural.
So robotic, and it's like she's a blade. She's not an android. Like that's not part of the character. That was just shitty animations right there.
Yeah.
But then the fight system seems, it just basically happens automatically.
That's like, the thing that I didn't like about the first one.
Meters fill, and you're spamming that button that you start training yourself to, like, okay, first this meter's gonna fill, so spam Y or spam X, then the Y one fills, then the B, and then you hit A. Like, that's all you're really doing when you're sitting there waiting.
Waiting.
Wait fighting. But yeah, it's such a bizarre mix of these really great assets and these really poorly handled moments at some points. But I can't wait to keep going through it.
Are you having fun with it?
I am having a lot of fun with it right now. As much as I'm like, yeah, the fight system, I didn't realize that it's Final Fantasy 13-ish.
Which
for the most part, you're just sitting there waiting. You don't really
pushing X.
Yeah, you don't really even put in your commands. You run into an enemy and just you change your paradigms or whatever. And now that dude is buffing us like crazy. Okay, now switch this paradigm. Okay, now debuff them like crazy. Okay, now everybody goes into your attack paradigm. It feels kind of like that sans the paradigm.
So, I've heard this comparison that it feels a lot like MMORPGs fighting.
Yes.
Which is not the highlight of those games until you're in like a raid or in PvP.
Right.
I don't think either of these things are in Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Right. Like, that kind of RPG style works for an MMO, but if you're not in an MMO, why are we borrowing from that structure?
Like, that was the case in the first game, and I had hoped that they would change it, but they didn't.
No, they didn't, and it's like, it's weird too, because I'm sitting there and I'm doing the damage. It's like, I don't have to press anything, but if I move a little, like, the positioning itself kind of becomes a little bit of the fun that you would want in an action time battle or something. Which
I think was the case in Final Fantasy XIV, another MMORPG. The ninjas could like be behind an enemy to do extra damage, but like again, it's still just okay, your turn, like just waiting to attack. It's not engaging. I don't understand.
I understand the argument. Or your argument.
Yeah.
I still just don't want to stop playing it, and I kind of hate myself for it.
I hate you too.
I want to find out. Because that's where you find out the essence of the Nintendo charm is like, what makes me want to play this game?
See, I like playing Zelda because there's cool stuff to explore, and the combat's fun, and there's all these weird items, and you can climb mountains and jump off them with a paraglider and bake apples.
Absolute freedom.
Yeah. I don't get that in this game.
It feels weird because it's like I tested some games that were from Atlas. Was it Atlas or Fairy Fencer F is the name of the game, and that is a generic AF RPG.
Yeah.
Like they have a very, very copy paste approach to their game. Yeah. There are some comparisons I can make to that game to here on a Nintendo title, which is really weird, and I still want to keep playing this. I never want to touch that other title again or any of their other ones. I want to keep playing Xenoblade. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing different.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you done talking about what you played, or do you want to?
Insidia. What's Insidia?
Oh, that's the other game. I didn't really want to get into it. It's basically a turn-based game. It's like chess almost, except... Okay, so you have 4 characters on a field. It's turn-based, grid-based action. You have to, like, destroy the enemy's generator. The thing is, I played it. It's a new game. It was in early access. I think it just came out. But it's on Steam, and it has, like, no community. I'm reviewing it, so it's hard to play against other people when other people aren't playing.
Aren't existent?
Yeah. And even going through the tutorial, I was like, I don't understand what you taught me. Because there's, like, 3 gates, and bringing characters back when they die costs a gate or something. But there's a barrier that moves in your base so that the enemy... I don't understand. I have to play through the tutorial again or, like, look at an in-depth explanation of the rules. Mm-hmm. Because... I've won, and so far I'm undefeated, but I don't know why.
Well, you can't be defeated if you've never partaken.
I played against one person, I played some AI games, and they're tough, but it's like, it just feels like slow chess. You're not, like, making power plays. You're just, like, slowly taking advantage, and then you kind of shuffle off across the finish line.
Okay.
It just... It's not... It has cool moments where, like, oh, cool, I did that one attack and that worked out in my favor. But for the most part, it is a lackluster game with a generic theme and aesthetic. And like they already have, like, microtransactions for money that you can, like, buy skins with. It's like, why do I want a skin of this generic dwarf character? All it does is change his color or, like, turn him into, like, another character that I also don't care about. Like, and the sad thing is that each character has a synopsis that's, like, several paragraphs long that you only ever hear about in the store when you're buying them. It's like, why do I care? Like, there's no... At least Overwatch has, like, all those voice lines and animations and stuff that, like...
They have voice lines. They got things they'll say that are only in specific situations is what makes those...
They flesh out their world. Mm-hmm. Insidia seems like it tried to do that, and it immediately is, like, swinging for the fences without knowing how to.
Okay.
It's not a great game.
Right.
That's it.
What? So it's a puzzle? I mean, what is it?
It's like a turn-based strategy game.
Okay.
You have to... Okay, so far the goal has been hold a cannon in the middle of the field, shoot your enemy's, like, barrier down, and then go and sabotage it. But it's like I said, there's 3 gates and 3 barriers, and I don't know why any of it exists. It's not great.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I think the Pyre is a game that I confused this with when you were describing
Pyre
it to
sounds
me.
cool. I saw Barry playing it formerly of Game Grumps. Mm-hmm. That I want to play that, not this.
Not this. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right. So yeah. That sounds fun. What systems is this? You played it on PC.
This is on PC. I'm pretty sure that's all it's going to be on.
And all it should ever be.
I think the most people that I've ever been online for this game is like 97.
That is... Oh, man. That's a thriving community right there.
Yep.
Yeah. So, thanks to... Because I follow MatPat, I got introduced to Pets Cop. And...
Where your pets are cops.
Yeah. It's, Pets Cop, not really a game, but this is very much game related. If you don't know, Pets Cop is, I guess you could call it a YouTube channel, is the most appropriate thing to call it right now. But
it's almost like an augmented reality kind of thing, immersive.
Yeah, that's pretty close to what I guess it's supposed to be, because like an ARG.
Yeah.
So this guy... The guy uploading and narrating the videos made the channel, quote unquote. And a lot of this is confusing and weird, and it's supposed to be, and it's vague, and it's supposed to be. It adds to the creepiness, the charm, and, well, they might actually be talking about actual events in the game, or games that happen in real life.
Events that actually occurred.
There are events that actually occurred that this game seems to be trying to bring light to, as many of the people in the communities, on the Reddit posts, on all that, they're making theories and picking things apart like, the internet does. And at first it was thought that this was all about trying to bring attention to like the murder of this, essentially a murder from this kid that was like adopted by some really, really awful, terrible adopter. Kind of treated her more like a product than, a kid. She was like mad about how uncooperative the child was. Ended up dying through some therapy thing that involved them basically suffocating her. They suffocated her. Like, no matter how they say it, they essentially choked her to death. And it was really weirdly handled. The game, for a while, there weren't any new episodes. They went from Pets Cop 1 to 11. And, a couple months later after this long pause, finally on Christmas last year, we get another episode. And
I think 11 was the Christmas one.
Yeah. 11 is the Christmas one. 10. I'm sorry. 1 through 10 then.
And then the break.
11 was the Christmas one, continuing it again. And it seems like there is some more clues to another event that involves a murder or a killing, though not all the details are out there yet, or at least I haven't seen all the details yet. I mean, to tell you, they are out there. If you look up on Reddit and stuff, that people are already have theories, but I'm only so far caught up. If you guys haven't checked it out, you should. It is a weird new take on Let's Plays because it's a Let's Play of a game that only one person has. And
then some of the stuff, like the guy, this isn't just some guy, I don't think, playing through this game. He is producing what looks like an actual game in a way that, like, there's moments that are episodes apart or moments apart that sync up in movement and behavior. It's really weird and creepy.
But then it's like the only rational explanation for some of these things to sync up, because it's almost like the guy will refer to something that you're going to see later, but it's like we're all on the same timeline. You don't read the future, then you go to that part in the future of the video, and it's like, holy crap! Like, you can only have the only rational explanation is you are doing this on purpose, so you did that. Otherwise, there is some really weird time-breaking stuff going on now.
There's a scene in Watchmen, the comic, and I think the movie, where Dr. Manhattan, the blue glowing man, he travels to Antarctica and he teleports there. And there's some stuff going on in the air that interferes with his ability to, like, basically perceive the future, the past, and the present as one moment. So he says something to another character saying, like, oh, I'm going after this person, wait here. A few pages later, he, I think, reassembles himself because somebody tries to kill him. And he repeats that exact same motion and dialogue to another character. I'm going after this person, wait here. So it kind of feels like that, but not so much in like the quantum way, just kind of like it's weird that it's repeating itself.
Yeah. People have taken the sounds and analyzed them, and, it's like he just said the exact same thing and repeated the exact same actions about 20 seconds ago, and he does or doesn't remember, or he's referring it to in a weird order both moments.
He has to be. Like, there's no way this is all an accident.
Right. But then that's still, this conversation that we're happening right now about the mystery of Pets Cop is really what I guess Pets Cop is all about. Is all this real? Is it really referring to things that are real out there in the real world? And is this really, like, I think right now where I stand is ultimately this is a project that is out there to out some people who have done bad things.
But it seemed like it's already public record that stuff happened.
But to bring attention to them, I guess. And then this second incident where on the second set of videos now, it seems like it's another incident. So,
jeez.
Yeah, I want to know where this keeps going. It was weird to see. It's a PS1/PS2 era looking sprite.
Oh yeah, it starts with the PlayStation 1 startup screen.
Yeah, and it constantly refers to itself being on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
it's just such a weird feeling when I first saw this and wasn't aware that this is in fact not a real game. It was the weirdest, surrealist feeling to be like, I know how to get any game. I can get any game right effing now, whether I purchase it or acquire it, quote unquote.
It fell off a truck.
I know how to get any game possible. If I need it within a day, I can start playing it. For whatever reason, I will be able to get it. And it was such an infuriating, weird feeling to know, like, I can only be fed this game through this channel because it's the only it's the only form that the game exists.
Yeah, that's a good way.
I can't, like Silent Hill, if I watched a video on it and was like, oh, that's what's up, I can go play the game and then see the rest of it for myself, and I won't need to wait for for this guy and his videos.
Yeah.
This sucks.
Yeah, no, it's a really interesting. It's creepy though. If you guys, okay, so just look up Pets, plural pet, and then cop, one word.
PETSCOP, Petscop.
It's creepy. So if you're fine with that, go watch it. It is,
and it's not so much creepy like it's throwing jump scares or anything in your way. It is, here's a game that looks completely normal at first, and even nice and charming.
It's unsettling.
Unsettling is the word. Yeah.
So if you have the stomach for it, go watch the 12 videos now. 13 videos. And then Game Theorist, Matt Pat, I know some people don't like Game Theorist because they think he's kind of grasping at straws, but that stuff is well thought out. And in this one, it's like he's matching it up to some real life things that happened, that unfortunately happened. Just go. It's a mind trip.
I feel at worst with this particular topic, he's at least just a compilation of everyone's theories and the best thought out ones.
Oh, okay.
But still, it's still incredible. Even if that's all you might think of him, or whatever your opinion of him might be. This is a really cool concept. After I saw the episode, I went and watched the entire channel through and through, and yeah, it's pretty intense. It's intense how not intense it is.
Yeah.
It is just it just ends up being like, it's like he's going through a buggy PS1 game, but you're sitting here as like, no, there's like a meaning to all this, and I'm excited about it, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I at first was like, this looks stupid, but as you've shown me more, I'm definitely more like interested in what it is.
Yeah, it pulls you in.
Yeah. All right, so those are things that we played and watched, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's some stuff coming out this week that I am also excited for. Today's the 13th, so Wednesday, March 14th, we got The American Dream coming to PS4 and PC, and The Long Reach coming to Xbox One and PC. Thursday, which is Switch Dump Day, we've got Surviving Mars.
Please don't say that ever again.
Surviving Mars for PS4.
Pooping.
Surviving Mars for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Alchemist Castle for PS4. Gal Gunvolt Burst for PS4. Maria the Witch for PS4. Zeus Quest Remastered for PS4. And then the rest of these titles are for the Switch, because it's a Thursday and that's what they do. Cluster Truck.
I'm excited about that.
The Long Reach, Bingo for Nintendo Switch. Neon Wall. World Neverland Elnia Kingdom. That's one title. ACA Neo Geo Aero Fighters 3. Enchanting Mahjong Match. Gem Smashers. And Sparkle 3 Genesis. Those last two sound like Bejeweled games.
They both do, yes.
Yeah. Friday, March 16th, we got Burnout Paradise Remastered for PS4 and Xbox One. Tesla vs. Lovecraft for Xbox One and Nintendo Switch. And Kirby Star Allies for Nintendo Switch.
Okay, so Tesla versus Lovecraft?
Yeah, so you're Tesla in the Tesla mech, and you're fighting off armies of, like, eldritch horrors.
Nice.
It's super, I think it's 2D, but it looks like Robotech almost. It's cool. We don't have anything for Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, but Tuesday we've got Attack on Titan 2 for PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Sea of Thieves for Xbox One and PC, which I'm excited about. Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered for PS4. Assault Gunners HD for PS4 and PC. Titan Quest for PS4 and PC. RBI Baseball 18 for Xbox One. And Swim Out for Nintendo Switch. And those are all the games coming out. Cannot wait to play more Sea of Thieves.
I gotta try that.
Yeah, for $10 for that first month, like, just try it. I cannot wait.
That's a good beefy episode today.
Yeah, it was an hour and 20 minutes almost.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is gonna do it for us, guys. Thanks for watching and listening, or listening mostly. We do still stream on GameGoPodcast.com/YouTube and Twitch. So go check those out. If you have questions for us that you want to hear us talk about on the show,
Yeah, like Fizzleds.
Yeah, like Fizzled. You can email us at GameGoPodcast.com. No, I'm sorry. GameGoPodcast@gmail.com.
There you go with your words.
If you go to GameGoPodcast.com/Discord, I think you can join our Discord, and there is a channel in there to send questions to us. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. This has been Sonorith.
This has been H8BitHero.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Hey.